4 quadrants, but the non-kinetic quadrant is something which you can start today. And the next war, which we are looking at, it may happen soon, and we have to prepare accordingly, as already been brought out by director, that in this we have to fight this battle together. This non-kinetic has to be fought together. So what are the deductions? That as far as whole of nation approach will be there for the next war, it is not the military alone which will be fighting. If you ask to a Pakistani whether you lost or won, you say, my chief has become field marshal, we must have won only, that's why he's become field marshal. So what I'm saying, that this is how you can influence the population. So it is the domestic population, it is the adversaries population, and it is the neutral population. Can rising powers be accommodated? That's a question you have to ask, and you will get the answer yourself. So then we made inroads through our own way. And the narrative management system, by getting the social kind of a sensitive index, then getting to use the Twitters and other handles from other places. So the strategic messaging which was there was very, very important. And that's why the first messaging we did, that okay, justice done, Op Sindoor, that hit the maximum, I am told, in the world today, the number of hits which received. So that was the strategic messaging by a simple message. And the logo which you see all over the world was created by a lieutenant colonel and a NCO. So we prepared all this. So when we were going in for this kind of Op Sindoor operations, we were also going for these things, because narrative management system is important. So what it means, that when it comes to the technology, there is a technology here, there is a technology here. The big party would like to propagate a technology to be much, much better, and you will get influenced by it. And the smaller one will not have the money power to kind of propagate that. So that is where I think the narrative management system plays a role. And if we are able to kind of get in time, I assure you that we will be able to help out this kind of a smaller party also. As we dug through the OSINT, we could also declare the fake. And that's why with the IIT Guwahati also we have signed and for IIT Delhi also we have signed the MOUs on interacting or getting information from the OSINT. And this fake stamping was something which was giving a great credibility. Now when we talk about the predictive analysis, I told you about the big leaders. But I think with this kind of a thing, we do not have time now, because even the corps commanders will change, even the naval commanders will change on the other side. So we need to put in all this data, and we should be able to see, okay, what is the thought process? What is he likely to do? No, predictive analysis is required. And that is where we all play a role in it. As so the communication is concerned, of course, secure battlefield networks, it helped us in a big way. Cyber defense measures. This is something, whatever you do, you will find you are still short of effort. And you know that what kind of attacks which were carried out, and we could ward off, we could recoup back wherever is required, we could rebound back. But next time, it may be much more. And whether that country will do it alone, it will be supported by some other countries, we do not know. But I have a strong hunch feeling that that country will not be alone. And that is where we have to be careful. Here I would like to talk about Sambhav, because Sambhav is courtesy IIT Madras, and this was a big game changer. Why? Otherwise we used to be on the WhatsApp if we have to talk anything, secret we cannot talk, so we are talking on the mobiles. But this Sambhav gave us a big uplift. Same thing, this war starting from 22nd April, we formed various groups as you are aware, but here there was a kind of a drawing board where everybody was knowing what is happening. So my Southern Army commander sitting at Pune, who is controlling the Rajasthan, doesn't have to tell JNK what is he doing. It is known through that. But what we learnt, that we allowed too many people to use Sambhav, and we gave too many permissions. So now at the time of crisis, if there are 100 messages, how will you kind of sift that which is the operationally important? That's why the hierarchy became important. But the workload is something which was, let's say, X, it became 100X. When it became 100X, Murphy's law, the server also went down at that point of time, we had to change the server. So then we realized that the hierarchy of communication becomes very important. So centralization is important, but decentralization was also important. And that is where, once we make sure that the hierarchy was kind of reverted back, it became easy. But still, the load on Sambhav was very high, and I'm happy to note that Sambhav 2.0 is also being looked at, because that will kind of help us for Sindoor 2.0. So I'm sure before Sindoor 2.0 starts, Sambhav 2.0 will be actually commercialized. Coming on to electronic warfare, of course, you're masters of it, so I don't have to talk about it. AM spectrum dominance, Jamming, I told you, it was in a big way. But deception, we could do a lot with the electronic warfare. And beyond that, I would not like to speak, but as you know, that his headquarters, etc., depicted from that. And of course, radar fingerprinting. Again, deep data. Because all the radars open at various places. And if you have the data, then you know, okay, which radar is opening up and it is held with which formation. That tells you the orbiting, which is important. So fingerprinting, which becomes important. And therefore the long-term involvement here becomes important. And ECAS or something, I think it's already in the media also, that we have created a software which is helping us. Of course, that is something which we have just started. But I am sure with the AI kind of a caliber which is there with the IIT Madras, that will become very, very strong and it will get interlinked with the TRI services because we need to work out together. As far as target engagement is concerned, we realize that attrition warfare is no more going to give you the results. So you need smart munition. All the dumb bombs have to be converted to smart bombs. We are working out with others also in this field because here we do not have much time. And Russia also, finally you realize only two things are working. Rest everything has gone back. Today I was reading the air assets have been pushed back. And the platform which are there, they only use when required. But the artillery guns and the drones, they are the only two things. The only thing what they have done, their dumb bombs have been converted into smart bombs. So the precision has increased. When the precision is increased, how does it help Indian economy? If you use a X number for, let's say, dumb bomb, you will use only 1/5 of the ammunition if it's precision in nature. And that is where you will find that the cost does not make a difference. The impact which will help us, because it will be timely impact and allow us to further the battle which is required. Rockets, extended range, we are well aware that what we are working here. And we also carried out a trial yesterday where we got the circular reparability of 2 meters for the 70-kilometer Pinaka. And of course, Ramjet technology, again, we are having a very, very high hopes. And we are, I'll not say running out of patience, but we are impatient that earlier it comes, better it is. And of course, if I can say that private industry also tested some missiles, which was again in the newspaper, 150 to 400 kilometers. So we're moving fast and we have to move much faster. Swarm drones and mother and the, if I can say that the sub drones or children drones which are there, there's a new concept. And today there is in the newspaper, in the Twitter also, and in India also, one company has offered 30 kilometers of spool. And in Ukraine, they have used 40 kilometers for spool. So there is no interference or jamming which can take place unless you physically destroy it. So this is the kind of a thing which is being looked at. So what happens? You send a spool for 30 kilometers. By the time the two layers of jammers have been kind of a pass through, thereafter the mothership goes another 20-30 kilometers, opens up with the kind of a sub-drones, and then you can create the havoc which is required. So 50 to 60 kilometer depth we can achieve. That is the kind of a range what we are looking at with this. And of course, armed UAVs, I don't have to talk about it. And employment of baits from both sides. So this time what they did, they sent the small drones first, so that you use your anti-aircraft guns. You open your radars. So your anti-aircraft gun locations are known, your radar locations are known, then say frequency is known, so they know which kind of a radar and everything. And then they came with the kind of a armed small UAVs or drones, Yiha class, which is from Turkey. So they used that. And thereafter, of course, they came with the Chinese and Turkish big UAVs, which is called as combat UAVs they came. So just because I think we were well prepared,